right foundation for you can be really tricky and definitely overwhelming. There are so many products and different types on the market. So today I wanted to break down the basics of what you need to know for choosing the best Chanel foundation to suit your needs. Now, since I work there, I have the resources and the knowledge to be able to really break down these foundations. But even if you're not in the market for Chanel foundation, you'll still hear some tips and tricks that I think you'll really find helpful when you go shopping. So let's begin. So the first foundation I want to discuss is the Vitalumiere Aqua. You've probably seen this in tons of magazines. It gets lots of press because it really is our most popular foundation. It's considered one of the 6 Chanel essentials. It's really the foundation that Chanel is known for. And it's a beautiful foundation. This one comes in beige and beige rose tones. So what that means is if you want something that's a more neutral to yellow undertone, you're gonna go for a beige shade. Whereas if you have a lot of pink in your skin and you're looking for that perfect match, you'll choose a beige rosé. But it also works to kind of color correct as well. So if you maybe have too much yellow or maybe some dullness or blueness to your skin, that rosé tone is going to really help bring back radiance and give your skin a really healthy look. So you can also kind of choose the tone that way, but there's a nice broad range of shades in this particular foundation. It's water-based, so the bottle looks like this. I guess I should show you the bottle, huh? And so you have to shake it, and you'll hear there's like a little ball in there. But you just give it a good shake every time you use it. You don't want it to separate on you and then try to use it, because what's gonna happen is it's gonna be really thin, really thin, really thin, and then one day you're gonna go to use it and it's gonna be really thick because you haven't been shaking it all the way. You don't have to sit there for a long time. You don't have to treat it like a shake weight, but definitely give it a good shake and that will help mix up the formula. Because it is water-based though, it's really light. And it's called the Ultra Light Skin Perfecting Sunscreen Makeup for a reason. It really does look like a second skin. Your skin is gonna show through because it's a pretty light to medium coverage. It's buildable, but if you're looking for a full coverage foundation, this probably isn't for you because you're going to have to layer it, and when there's other options that are just gonna give you that coverage without having to really build it up, if that makes sense. It's got SPF 15, so you're getting a little bit coverage there, not a whole ton, but overall this foundation is going to be best suited for really all skin types because it's water-based. It's kind of a natural matte finish. It's not super dewy, it's not super matte, so really it's kind of in between, very universal, and it's also going to be ideal for both young and mature people. So any skin type can wear this, any age can wear this. It's a great little staple foundation, and it's also a good entry level because it's a lower price point. This runs about $48. So for a first Chanel foundation, it's good to just go ahead and try, you know, the #1 tried and true foundation from Chanel, the Vitalumiere Aqua. So the second foundation I want to talk about is the Perfection Lumiere Velvet. And it just kind of makes sense to follow up the Vitalumiere Aqua with this foundation because it's the other foundation that you have to shake. And you'll hear that little ball in there. You just got to give it a good shake before you use it. But again, this has SPF 15. It's also a water-based foundation, so it's very light on the skin. The really main difference between the Perfection Lumiere Velvet and the Vitalumiere Aqua is that this foundation has a more matte finish and it's not quite as thin on the skin. It's still gonna go on very light, don't get me wrong, but it's gonna give you a lot more coverage. So it also comes in the beige and beige rosé tones, but this foundation is more ideal for somebody with oily to combination skin or somebody who's just looking for a lot of coverage. And I'll tell you that I get the most compliments whenever I'm wearing this foundation. So it's kind of the dark horse of the bunch, which is kind of ironic since it's in this little cute black bottle, because it's not one that most people really gravitate towards, because I think they hear matte and, you know, dewy and luminous skin is really in right now. So people kind of turn their nose up at it, but it's a beautiful foundation. It truly is. And I have people who come in all the time and say, what is this foundation? A friend has been wearing this foundation, or what do you have on your skin? that's what I want my skin to look like. And more times than not, it's the Perfection Lumiere Velvet. I would say that if you have dry skin, you can always mix in a little moisturizer when you apply it, and that way this would be, you know, great for you then. And if you have mature skin and you have a lot of fine lines or deep wrinkles, I would just make sure to always use a primer first before you use this foundation. It's still light, it's not necessarily gonna cake up on your face or fill in those fine lines, but just to be on the safe side, to really even out your skin tone and kind of fill in and prep and prime the skin, use a nice, pretty thick primer and then go in with your Perfection Lumiere Velvet, and that will be a beautiful, beautiful foundation for you. This is definitely one of my favorites. So the next foundation that I want to talk about is the Vitalumiere, the original. And I have to admit, I don't have as much experience wearing this foundation like the other two that are just always in my constant rotation, just because this is for all of my little dewdrops out there. It is a dewy foundation. I have combination skin, so this is really something that I only will grab in the winter months or when I know I'm going to be indoors. But it's a beautiful foundation as well. It's called the Moisture Rich Radiant Sunscreen Fluid Makeup, and like the others, it has SPF 15. This does not come in beige and beige rosé. It has a completely different kind of shade system. Most of them have gold to yellow undertones, and there's really not a wide variety, so it's kind of unfortunate. It's not really going to be for everybody, but truly the formulation itself is not really going to be for everybody. This is for people who want light to medium coverage and who really want a very dewy look. So if your skin is super dry or you have really mature skin, this will be really ideal for you. If you're combination or oily, you're gonna wanna steer clear from this. Again, like I said, unless it's winter, in which case it's for everybody. But finding the perfect shade in this foundation is going to be tricky. But I really honestly believe that those who can wear it are very lucky because it is very beautiful. It goes on the skin so smooth like butter, and it just a little bit goes a long way. It blends beautifully. That being said, it's not a full coverage foundation, so if you're really looking for something that's going to cover your skin, this probably isn't for you. You're really gonna probably wanna maybe try out the Perfection Lumiere Velvet or the new Lait Beige foundation that have a little bit more coverage. But if you have, you know, beautiful skin already, you're not really looking to cover it up, this is gonna be right for you. And on the clients that I use this on, they all love it. It's really beautiful. If you are combination or a little bit oily, you could probably still wear it, but you're definitely going to need to set it with a powder. But that being said, it's a gorgeous foundation. It's a $60 price point, but again, a little bit goes such a long way that you're gonna have this for several months before you run out of it. So last but not least, I wanna talk about the newest addition to the family. This is the new Lait Beige foundation. And you may have seen it in different magazine ads with, you know, Giselle's picture all over the place. It's been pretty popular, and it's a very exciting launch because it's very different from anything else that we carry. It's a healthy glow foundation with SPF 25. So already it's got a little bit more sun protection. It's called a healthy glow foundation because it has certain pigments in the foundation that are gonna reflect out a pink glow, and that's to color correct any dullness in the skin and give you a very radiant, bright, glowing, healthy look. So that's really exciting, kind of new technology there. It also comes in beige and beige rosé shades, but it's got the widest range of shades that we have of any other foundation. So that's really exciting. Pretty much everybody should be able to find a color that works for them. It's a natural matte finish. Again, it's not gonna be super matte or super powdery on the skin, but just something to keep into consideration. It is a cream base, so it comes in the glass bottle. You do not have to shake it. It's really smart that they put the ones you have to shake in a plastic bottle. I think I just put that together in my head. But yes, it comes in this glass bottle that you just pump it right out on your hand, and it's a nice stable formula. And it's really beautiful. It's a thicker formula. It's definitely thicker than the Vitalumiere or the Perfection Lumiere Velvet. So you are gonna wanna be very careful when you put it on. It's the foundation that I'm wearing now. You just don't wanna use too much. You can use several different brushes. This is the brush that I prefer to apply it. It's a duo fiber brush, so this is going to put it on really lightly and help you to just distribute the right amount, no more, no less. You could also use like a kabuki brush like this one, but our full coverage foundation brush, you're probably not going to want to apply it with this type of brush just because it's a full coverage foundation. So if you use a full coverage brush to apply it, you may end up putting too much on because it is a thicker consistency. If you don't like a matte finish, I recommend putting like a liquid illuminator. Like, of course, we have the Sun-Kissed Liquid Illuminator by Chanel, but Fluid Sheer by Giorgio Armani is one of my favorites. NARS has a really good one. So there's several different liquid illuminators that are really a thin consistency that you can mix right in there, and it's gonna give you that dewy, very glowy look, but still you'll have the pigmentation from the foundation. So you can really manipulate it and make it universal for everybody, just depending on how much you apply, the brush that you apply, and also if there's anything that you mix in. So it is ideal for young skin or anybody who's kind of more normal to combination. But it is one of my new favorites, I must say. And because it comes with such a wide range of colors, it really is for everybody. But the one thing that makes it so unique and why I really love it is that it also has Kalanchoe extract. This is an extract that's been used all over the world, especially in places like the Amazon for years as like basically a panacea, but they use it to heal burns on the skin. So what it's gonna do is it's gonna help to heal the skin from any burns, to protect the skin. And so it's just like a little active botanical added in there that just makes the foundation that much better. And it's everything you'd expect from Chanel, having the highest quality ingredients. But I love this foundation, and I do have a tutorial coming up where I give you a full review, but take my word for it now. It's a great foundation. So before we go, some honorable mentions: the Lift Lumiere and Perfection Lumiere foundations. I didn't mention them because both of them, you know, are kind of being phased out at the moment. We always hear rumblings of what's being discontinued, and those two are on the hit list, unfortunately. I know some people are going to be very upset. The Lift Lumiere was really designed for a very particular target client, somebody looking for skincare. It goes actually hand in hand with our Lift skincare line. So it's really anti-aging, good for fine lines and wrinkles, but there's only a few colors. I know a couple shades have been long-term discontinued, and it's really just not for everybody. And there is something on the horizon that's gonna be bigger and better. So I think if you're using Lift Lumiere now, just wait. You're gonna be surprised. We have something better for you coming up later in the year. As far as Perfection Lumiere, we already have something right now on the counters. That's the new Lait Beige that is very much comparable. It's a natural matte, long wear, cream foundation that gives you full coverage. So that pretty much is the Lait Beige foundation. But still, I know some people will be very disappointed to hear that that's probably not going to be around for too much longer. But again, we have something else in store, bigger, better things to come. Just take my word for it. You won't be disappointed for long. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something or was able to take something away from the video that maybe you didn't know before. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments. I'll definitely get back to you. But I hope you have a wonderful day, and don't forget to subscribe.